Welcome to a Vinyasa practice. My name is Kaylee. We're going to start lying down onto the ground. Make yourself comfy. I often like to hug my knees in for a moment and maybe have the knees bent and just take a few breaths as you toggle the knees side to side. And then eventually we're going to land in a supine tree or supine half butterfly. So we'll extend the left leg nice and long. And then bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. So we're getting a nice opening through the right inner thigh. And maybe you feel some other sensations in the hip. And bring your arms out to your side with a bent elbow, maybe a goalpost, whatever feels most accessible for your shoulders. Let your eyes soften or close down. And this arm position is just an invitation for the ribs to expand and the breath to move a little bit deeper. No need to control your breath, but just noticing as you settle in here, if there's a natural bit of spaciousness that the inhales can start to explore, right? Breathing in to the sides of the lungs, maybe into the lower belly. And using your exhales to arrive a little bit more, releasing your lower back and your shoulders down. Just take one or two more rounds of breath right here. And stretch the arms back up over your head, point your left toes. And then without using your hands, keep the right knee bent, but bring the foot down onto the mat. Take one more nice long inhale into this big stretch, and then no hands, bring your knee toward your chest. Right knee comes in toward your chest. Squeeze it in as much as you can using your abdominals and the muscles in your right thigh, and then go ahead and bring your fingers, interlacing them around your shin. Use your arms, maybe you draw some circles with the knee to check in with your hip socket here. Maybe you're doing some ankle circles to check in with the foot. Switch direction, whatever kind of, if you are rotating through one of those joint spaces, switch direction, smooth it out. And then we're going to set up a spinal twist. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and guide it across your body. You can T or cactus the right arm. Just start to breathe in a way that helps you connect a little bit more to this twist. So practice today, we're gonna explore a lot of different speeds, a lot of different rates of movement. And really it's meant as an invitation to just notice, right, where in your life are you being asked both to slow down, these places where maybe we're forcing a little bit, where the universe or the context of our current life situation is asking us to trust and slow down a little bit more, move a little more intentionally. Go ahead and bring your knee back into the midline, hugging it into your chest one more time. And then switch, bring your left knee in, let that right leg stretch out, and then guide your left foot into that half butterfly, half tree, or half butterfly and full tree shape, I should say. Adjust the arms in any way that helps you feel like you can breathe a little bit more naturally, a little bit more easily. And even as we allow ourselves to stay in this much slower pace right here, right now, we'll also explore a little bit of faster movement in today's practice. And an invitation with that is just to notice, right, where is life actually asking you to speed up a little bit? Where are we avoiding or delaying or procrastinating? We do it, we're all human. Go ahead and point through the right toes, extend the arms back over your head, drink in a long breath. And then right foot comes down toward the mat. No hands, hug your knee in toward your chest using your abs and your thigh. Hug, hug, hug. And then interlace your fingers around the shin. Draw some circles with the knee or the ankle. And so it's never ever a judgment, right? I certainly have areas where I'm reluctant to speed up and areas where I would rather not slow down, and that's human. Just considering that there might be some big benefits in the long run, or switch the direction of your knee or ankle circles if you're taking them. So big benefits in the long run to titrating the speed, to recalibrating the way that we move through life. Come into your spinal twist, guiding your knee across your body. And then starting to lengthen your breath here. So feel the spine stretch gently with your inhales. And let the left knee and the left shoulder get a little heavier with your exhales. Let's take one more round. Long inhale, breathing all the way through the spine. And slow exhale, letting the knee and the shoulder relax. Go ahead and come to the center. Bring both knees into your chest. And then reach for the back side of the thighs here. We're going to start to rock forward and backward along the length of the spine. When you rock back, go ahead and play with straightening out the legs. When you rock forward, try and hover the heels and squeeze them in close to your butt. We'll play with that a couple times. We're going to try and hover on the sit bones right here. Finding balance, starting to activate through the abdominals even more. At the same time, when we roll back, we're warming up and stretching through the hamstrings a little bit. For 3. Good, 2 more. Last one, seated at the top of the mat. To rock right into your cross-legged position. Bring your palms onto your thighs, shrug your shoulders up toward your ears, chin is down. Bring in a big breath, keep pressing the hands down, letting the shoulders shrug up. And then open mouth, exhale, release onto the backs of the hands, palms up, shoulders down, your back. And bring the hands to the heart. Anything that you might need to explore this practice with a lot of grace, a lot of honesty. We practice this radical self-compassion, especially if there is any reflection going on around where maybe we're reluctant to change our pace in a way that might actually really serve us. We're never ever judging, but extending this truly radical, positive self-regard so that we can be real honest with ourselves. A big inhale, breathe in that sense of self-compassion, fill all the way up on it. And open mouth, exhale, letting go of any self-judgment. Blink your eyes open, meet me in a downward facing dog. If you want a moment to roll through a couple rounds of cat-cow or anything in a tabletop, you can take that on. When you do find downward facing dog, spread the fingers out wide and root down to the base of your thumb and your index. It's not like the widest spread that you can make, but I just want you to feel the surface of the hands is nice and expansive. Lift your heels up sky high in downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And then we're going to try and slide the heels down. You can always bend the knees. See if you can get the heels to touch. Maybe you bend the knees and get them close to the ground. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, drive the heels down. Bend the knees if you want. 1 more. Remember, it's not about touching the ground necessarily. Big breath in. Exhale, just stretching out to the back of the ankle, the calf, the Achilles. Lift your heels, look forward. And then empty the breath, take a big step to the top of the mat. We're gonna come right into a halfway stretch, winging the arms by the side. Drop the head gently, so you're not looking forward, but rather looking down a few feet in front of your toes, creating length in the sides of the neck. And then you can even bring your hands to your ribs. Notice if you're flaring the bottom ribs, you tuck the bottom ribs in so that you're strong in your midsection, creating space in the lower back. Stay here, take a big breath in. Interlace your fingers, right pinky on the outside, fold forward on your exhale. Stay and breathe. Use your shoulders to gently bring the palms of the hands a little closer together. Maybe you nod the head side to side. Great, we're gonna release that bind. Find that halfway stretch just for the inhale, long spine, long spine. And then forward fold, interlace left pinky on the outside this time. Play around maybe with straightening out the legs a little bit, maybe one at a time. Keep your heels down, but play with shifting your weight toward the balls of the feet and just feel the stretch in the back side of the body. Go ahead and release the bind. This time let your arms and your head stay heavy. Start to press into your feet. The arms and the head are going to come up lastly as you slowly unfold, stacking the bones of your spine, drawing your abdominals in for support. Once you're upright, reach the arms up over your head, lift your toes off of the mat. So heels are down, but toes are lifted. Big in-breath. And then release, find Tadasana. Release the arms to your side, relax your toes down to the mat. Reach upward, take a big breath in, option to lift the toes. Maybe we keep the toes lifted as you hinge forward and fold all the way down, catching your calves at the end. Find that halfway stretch, releasing the toes down. Take a big breath in. You can move your palms to your shins at this point. And then plant the hands, step back to high push-up. In your plank, rock forward and backward a couple times, straightening through your spine, right? So we're not dumping into the low back, really finding a lot of space and length from tail to crown of the head. Shift forward, drop your knees down, lift your feet up, and then lower not even halfway down, just part of the way down. Good, come back to that kneeling plank and do that again. Shift forward, not even halfway down, yeah? Straighten the elbows. 2 more times. So oftentimes we take chaturanga with the elbows bent halfway or even deeper, and I want you to explore taking this shape with a little bit less of a bend in the elbows. Pause here. Let's go ahead and lower all the way down this first time. Find cobra, tenting the fingers. Look over your right shoulder. Put a bend into your right knee. Big breath in. And then release down. Maybe your forehead taps the mat as you breathe out. Take that cobra over to the left. Inhale. And release back down on the exhale. We take cobra through the center. You can keep your feet down or bend both of your knees. Breathe in. And then child's pose. Take your time. Press your hips back towards your heels. Take 2 deep breaths right here. One more. Really fill your lungs all the way up. Stretch into your back body. And then exhale, let it go. Find a tabletop position. Tuck the toes under. And then downward facing dog. Press the mat away. Lift the heels. Look forward. And then step your feet lightly to the top, or maybe you add a little hop. Find a halfway stretch. You can wing the arms or bring the palms onto the shins. Breathe in. And then fold forward. You've got the option to interlace your fingers or catch your calves as you empty. Rise all the way up, bone by bone, sweeping the arms over your head, finishing a big breath in. And then Tadasana, release the arms to your side, relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, bow forward. Empty, empty, empty. Make it smooth. Halfway stretch. Take a breath in. Plant the hands. Step back. Rock forward. Lower up to halfway down. You can always use your knees. Lower all the way to your belly. Cobra to the right. Inhale. Point the right toes. Look back. Release down on the exhale. Cobra, go to the left. Breathe in. Release it down and empty. Cobra through the center. Remember, you can bend both knees or neither of them. Finish an inhale. And then tabletop this time on your exhale. Tuck the toes under. Take a breath in. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Right away, look forward. Lift your heels. Empty all of the breath. Travel lightly to the top. Halfway stretch. Last Surya Namaskar A. Breathe into it. Fold forward as you exhale. Rise all the way up. Try and finish your inhale at the very top of that stretch. Reach higher. And then Tadasana, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Maybe you lift your toes. Send your hips forward and drop back gently. And then exhale, bow all the way down. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Plant the hands, step back, lower all the way down. You can use your knees or not. Same thing, cobra to the right. Inhale, look back. Release down on the exhale. Take it to the left, breathe in. Release it down on the breath out. Your cobra through the center, finish an in-breath. And then child's pose again, press your hips to your heels. Take a very big inhale through your nose, feel your ribs stretch out to the sides. And then open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Start to walk the hands back. You're gonna sit onto your heels right here. Bring your arms into a cactus or a goalpost shape. And then start to lift the chest, draw the abdominals in, maybe the chin comes up. We're gonna play around with a variation of a vinyasa here, especially if you have wrist stuff or shoulder stuff. This is gonna be our nice big breath in. And then we find downward facing dog, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips. On an in-breath, right leg is gonna lift up nice and high. And then bend your knees, stack your hips. Stay here or circle the right ankle or circle the right knee. If you're circling, not giving us a ton of time right now, switch directions. I did say we were gonna have some speedier moments. Kick back to three-legged dog, big breath in. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. From here, we're gonna step the right foot back to plank, bring the left knee to the left elbow. Step the left foot back to plank, right knee to the right elbow, and then three-legged dog, big stretch, breathe in. One more slow, right knee, right elbow. Plank, left knee, left elbow. Plank, right knee, right elbow, three-legged dog, big in-breath. So we're gonna play around with this. You can keep that nice steady pace where you step back to plank, or we do a jump switch, right knee, right elbow, jump switch, left, left, jump switch, right, right, and then three-legged, breathe in. Two more, right to the right, left to the left, right to the right, three-legged, inhale. Exhale, right, right, left, right, three-legged dog, big breath in, and then step your right foot through, reversing your warrior. Spin the knife edge of your back foot down, and then take a nice big, deep bend into the right knee. Right toes and right knee are pointing straight forward if possible, and then we're revisiting that stretch in the inner right thigh that we started to find in our first shape, our supine tree. Take another long inhale here. We're gonna sweep the right arm down and then find a variation of extended side angle or side angle that does not bring that right elbow down, but rather reaches the right arm back and the left arm forward. See if you can hug in through the sides of the waist here and then pull the belly button in. We're gonna flow with breath 2 more times. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle variation, long low back, squeeze through the abs. Inhale, reverse warrior. Last time, exhale, side angle variation. This time, find a reverse triangle, straighten out the right leg. Maybe you lift onto your right heel, big breath in. And then bring the hands down. Option to float the right foot to a 3-point chaturanga as you lower. Take cobra or upward facing dog through the center, finishing an in-breath. And then down dog, press your hips back. Float the left leg high, bend the knees, stack the hips, and then breathe as you invite some movement into the ankle or the knee. Strong arms, switch direction of the circles if you're making them. Pressing your chest toward your right thigh. Good, 3-legged dog, big breath in. Left knee, left elbow. Step to plank, right knee, right elbow. Step to plank, left to the left, and then we take that 3-legged dog, big breath in. Again, slow, left, left, plank, right, right, plank, left, left, and then 3-legged, breathe in. Here we go, option to take that 1.5 mountain climber, left, left, right, right, left, left, inhale back to 3-legged. 2 more, left, left, right, right, inhale, 3-legged. 1 more, left, left, right, right, left, left, inhale back to 3-legged dog, and then take a big step forward, reverse your warrior on this side. Find your breath. You can start to refine the shape a little bit. Maybe you allow your eyes to land to one spot, and by refine the shape, I mean you make little adjustments so that you can feel, right, that there's a little bit of ease actually available to you here. If it all feels like you're just white knuckling through it, we want to find a way to soften so the effort is balanced with some of this ease. Take a long breath in. And then extended side angle variation. Maybe you don't go as low into it, right? If I dip real low, then I can't feel the bottom oblique active. Totally up to you, right? But can we find a lot of integrity in the midsection, the sides, the front, all of it. Back to reverse warrior. Inhale all the way. 2 more, side angle variation. Exhale, strong back leg. Inhale up to reverse. Last side angle variation. Exhale. Find reverse triangle. Fill the lungs all the way up. Maybe you gaze up. And then circle the hands to the top. Option to float that left foot to chaturanga on a breath out. Find cobra or upward facing dog. Breathe in. And then down dog. Press the hips back. Look forward and lift your heels. Step your feet or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Halfway stretch, long spine, big in-breath. Fold forward and exhale. Rise all the way up. Big breath in. Find an open arm twist this time toward the right. Bring your left hand right up to the bottom of your breastbone. And on your inhale, see if you can lift the chest a little bit more. Exhale, look back toward your right thumb. Come back to the center, both arms reach up, breathe in. Then open arm twist to the left, long spine, right hand finds your heart. Lift the ribs, breathe in. And then look toward your back thumb, finish your breath out. Back to the center, reach all the way up. Option to lift up onto the balls of the feet. And then fold forward, let it go. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Vinyasa, however you want to get to downward facing dog. We're going to move through that sequence that we set up. 1 breath, 1 motion, with one of those mountain climber variations in between. Right leg goes high, big breath in. Right, left, right, and then back to 3-legged, right leg is up. Step it through. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Side angle variation, exhale, 2 more. Work your breath, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, easy reverse. Exhale, effort in that side angle, and then reverse triangle. Fill up, look up. Hands to the mat, cycle through a vinyasa. Big inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, down dog. Left leg, lift it high on the inhale. Left, right, left, back to 3-legged, big breath in. Step forward, reverse warrior, wind open and fill up. Extended side angle variation on the exhale. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. There's 2. Inhale up. Last time, exhale it down. So reverse triangle, big breath in. I almost said sky archer. Circle the hands, cycle through a flow, which would work as well. Big inhale through the back bend. And then exhale, down dog. Again, right leg, once more like this. Right, left, right to 3-legged, big breath. Step through on the exhale, reverse warrior, breathe in. For 3, exhale, side angle. Inhale up. Exhale for 2. Last one like this, breathe in. Breathe out, reverse triangle, or yeah, sky archer if you like that shape, breathe in. Hands to the mat, high to low or straight through. Inhale, heart opens. Exhale, hips back, left leg lift it high on the inhale. 1.5 mountain climbers, back to 3-legged, left leg high. Big step through. Reverse, fill your lungs. Side angle, squeeze the side body in. Inhale up for 2. Exhale it down for 2. Inhale up, last one. Exhale down. Sky archer or reverse triangle, big breath in. Hands to the mat, we meet in downward facing dog. You can always personalize this part. You can pause in a child's pose or a tabletop. We meet in downward facing. Clear it out once you get there. Big inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, relax the lower jaw. Let it go. Look forward and lift your heels. Step or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Halfway stretch, breath in. Chest to thighs, breath out. Rise all the way up on the inhale. We're just gonna add on open arm twist on the exhale. Stay here or lift your heels up. stay there, or whether the heels are lifted or not, you've got the option to bend the knees. And see if you can find that halfway spot that's a little challenging, and then come back up. Maybe you stay on your toes. Try that a couple more times. Woo. All right, we're gonna bend the knees if that's available. And then on an inhale, sweep the right hand down, stand all the way up. Maybe the heels stay lifted. And then hands to your side, Tadasana. Other side, reach up and fill, nice long spine. Open arms to the left. Maybe you lift the heels, maybe not. Maybe you play with a couple elevators up and down, trying to keep your shoulders over your hips the whole time. If the knee bend is available, pause there, feel the stretch in the chest, and then left hand sweeps all the way down and upward on the in-breath. Tadasana as you exhale. Reach up, lift the toes, look up on the in-breath. Forward fold, long exhale, empty, empty, empty. Listen, lift up halfway, take a breath in. Find that low kneeling, bringing your knees all the way to the back, sit your hips down. Inhale, open through the chest, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Float the right leg high once you get there. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Stay here or look underneath your left underarm, and then take a couple of heel lifts. Lift and lower your left heel. Option to pivot into a flip dog, spinning onto the ball of the left foot until your toes point back. Bringing that right foot down and expanding and opening through your chest. Notice if you're really far forward, see if you can shift back so that that left shoulder is roughly stacked over your left wrist and the shoulder blades on the back of your ribs. Big breath in. Bring the right hand down, right knee, right elbow. Jump switch to three-legged, breathe in. This time step outside of your right pinky finger and then drop the back knee down. We're finding a lizard lunge. Find your breath. Maybe slow it down and add that pause at the top of your inhale. Before you take a long exhale, maybe there's a pause at the bottom. See if you can bring your left elbow down. Then shift a little bit of the weight toward that left elbow. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right thigh. And we're just gently gonna press that leg away. Not forcing, yeah? So go slow, slow, slow. See if you can start to spin your chest toward the right or even up. Maybe we release that right arm up. Maybe you bend your back knee, just noticing how the knee feels, and perhaps find that knife edge of the back foot with your upper right hand here. Breathe. Can you relax the muscles around your brow and your jaw and send your body this nourishing breath? So big inhales, bringing a lot of fresh oxygen and prana and nutrients to your body. And then calming exhales. Without slingshotting the back foot, release it if you caught it. Bring the right hand down. Bring the left palm back down. Tuck the left toes under. We're gonna lift the left knee. Look forward, 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 and then bend the elbows, pulling your chest forward so you're in your Spider-Man push-up. All the way back to three-legged dog. Big breath in. And then step forward on your exhale into your reverse warrior. Ride a big breath in. Extended side angle on the breath out. One of those. So we're gonna take it right into our reverse triangle or sky archer. And then rebend the front knee. Hands are gonna come through the heart center. Spin your back heel up. And then settle into a prayer twist, bringing your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Create length in your spine as you hug the inner thighs toward each other gently. And draw the abdominals away from the front thigh. See if you can twirl your ribs a little bit more toward the right side of your space for 3. Continue to lengthen your breath. Hug the thighs together for 2 and 1. Find star. Take your time to stretch open and out. Big breath in. And then prasarita. Hands come down. Let your head drop. Pivot the toes slightly in. Option to find a ragdoll here. Clasping the opposite elbows as you invite a little sway, or you can play with some figure 8s. Alternately, some folks, it feels really good to bring some lateral movement into the legs. You can bring the hands back down And walk the hands a little bit to one side to bend into one knee at a time. Or maybe you're staying nice and still in your prasarita and just working into that big stretch in the back of the legs, keeping your heels down, but shifting a little bit of weight toward the toes. From whatever version you landed in, we're gonna go ahead and walk the hands so you're in a halfway stretch right here. Turn the right palm to face the back of the room and then just rest on the right fingertips or hover the right hand up. We're gonna slide the left hand up the arm and then all the way up, opening into a twist, using your core strength to float the bottom fingers off the mat. Nice, very big breath in right here. On the exhale, sweep it forward, pivot the toes, find your high crescent lunge. Big breath in, shift your weight forward, airplane pose, float the left leg up, bring your hands to your hips. And then notice it's very common for that left hip to want to jut up. Can we square the hips down? The whole time hugging in through the sides of the hips and through the lower belly. Once you feel that alignment, you've got the option to bring the hands to the heart or wing them to your sides. Root down into your standing right foot. We find a single-legged mountain, lifting the left knee, reaching the fingers for the ceiling. And then figure four, bringing the knife edge of that left foot or the outside of the ankle onto the top of the right thigh. Big hinge in the hips. Try and keep the spine flat. So instead of rounding here, you can keep a nice flat back. It's amazing that we're doing any of this at all if you feel like experimenting and exploring. Left elbow moves to the sole of the left foot as that right palm presses into the left elbow for a big twist. We're gonna meet back in our figure four. If you added your twist, come back to figure four. And then single-legged mountain, lift the left knee nice and high, high, high. I'm turning just so that I can show you a little bit. We're gonna step the left foot down, shift the weight to the left foot, float the right leg out to the side, and wing your arms. Notice if you're in more of a booty, kind of tilt back. See if we can hug in a little bit, stand taller in that standing left leg, and then option to add a little pulse up. Right toes can be pointed or the foot can be flexed. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna find a wide stance at the top. Feet are a little bit wider. Reach up, option to lift your heels. And then maybe, we're gonna take a little squat here, all of us, but maybe you're gonna slam the heels down on the breath out. So a little bit of impact in the joints is actually a very good thing, but we wanna dose it just right. Couple more. So lift up, maybe the heels come with you. And then drop down, little slam. Keep going. Remember, you could be here just taking an air squat, amazing. And you might feel better doing that. For 3, we're gonna stand all the way up together in 2 and 1, all the way, all the way, all the way up. Big breath in. Open mouth, forward fold, swing the arms. Do it again, inhale, rise it up. Maybe you lift your heels. 2 more, open mouth, forward fold, let the arms swing. Last time like that, big breath in. Big breath out. Stand all the way up, finish your inhale. And then fold forward a little more deliberate on the exhale. Lift up halfway, breathe in. Drop the knees all the way to the back of the mat, sit onto your heels. Inhale, open through your chest. And then exhale, we're in downward facing dog. Left leg is gonna lift high. Put a bend in your knee. Stay here looking underneath your right underarm. Lifting and lowering your right heel, a couple calf raises, or flip your dog. If you flip your dog over, try and press your knees away from you and draw your chin away from your breastbone. Big, long inhale. We're gonna go left hand down, left knee, left elbow, 1.5 mountain climbers to 3-legged dog. Breathe in. Step forward, reverse warrior. Inhale. 1 side angle variation, hug the sides of the waist in on the exhale. Reverse triangle or sky archer, finish your breath in. And then prayer twist, pivoting that back heel up, bending into your front knee. Find your breath. Every inhale, create a sense of space across your chest and in your spine. Every exhale, finding that center line, hugging in toward the midline, inner thighs hug toward each other, lower abdominals lift toward the spine. Great. We're gonna inhale up into a star, take your time, big stretch, breathe in. And then Prasarita, 4 deep breaths here. So you choose if you wanna play around with an arm variation, some ragdoll, some lateral movement. Alternately, maybe you're working on an arm balance like a crow, or an inversion like a headstand. 2 more big breaths. We're gonna set up that halfway lift variation. Hug the abs in, so lots of core strength today. Palms face one another and touch with your fingers pointing straight down. Slide the right hand up all the way into that upper body rotation. Keep pulling that left hip crease back. Big breath in. Sweep the hands to the top of the mat. Maybe it's a hands-free transition. High crescent lunge. Land, find that stability in your balance. And then we're gonna take our airplane pose, sliding the back toes all the way up off the mat. Hands find hips. Notice if you're doing what I do, what most of us do, and see if you can square the hips down. Hug the outer edges of your hips, so the glute medius, hug in, and then lift through your lower belly. Option to wing the arms once you've got that pelvic alignment, or you're done trying to get it, right? That's okay too. And then we're gonna find our single-legged mountain. Lift your right knee nice and high, big, long inhale. Figure 4 across the ankle, sink your hips down on the exhale. Stay here breathing, plenty. Or bring the right elbow to the sole of the right foot, pressing that left hand down gently to challenge the balance to deepen the twist. If you added a twist, we go back to our figure 4. And then everyone, right knee comes up, single-legged mountain, big breath in. Right foot down, shift the weight, left foot comes out. You can point to the toes or flex the foot, but notice if you're leaning back, can you rise it up tall? And then pulse as an option. And this may be the option is to set down and take a little pulse. 4, 3, right, you could be here, 2, 1. Feet wide at the top, rise it up. Maybe the heels lift, and then squat low. Maybe we slam. A couple more like that. Remember, heels are an option. If you want a little bit more, drop down and jump. For 4, we're gonna meet standing tall at the top in 3, 2, 1. Stand up nice and tall at the top. Big breath in. Open mouth, forward fold. 2 more. Big inhale. Maybe you lift your heels. Swing the arms. Last time like that. Breathe in. Take it all the way up. Finish the inhale and then fold. Intentional forward fold on the exhale. Halfway stretch. Breathe in. Knees to the back of the mat. On the breath out. Sit onto your heels. Inhale. Cactus the arms. Lift your chest. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Here we go. Right leg lifts. Bend the knees. Stack the hips. Stay or flip. Take a big breath in. We all go. Right knee, right elbow, jump switch, right leg up, big breath in. And then step it through. Reverse warrior. Rise on the inhale. Find that side angle variation, exhale. Sky archer or reverse triangle, breathe in. Prayer twist on the breath out. Stay here, create length in the spine. Finish an inhale. And then see if you can rotate a little bit more. Look over your top shoulder, exhale. We've got star, big breath in. Listen, we're gonna take the right hand toward the back ankle and then sweep that left arm up and open. Finish an inhale. To the top of the mat, high crescent lunge. Rise it up high, breathe in. Airplane, fly forward just for a breath out. Single-legged mountain, lift on the in-breath. Figure 4, exhale. Single-legged mountain, breathe in. Left foot down, shift the weight. Right foot out for 4. You could be here. 3, 2, 1. Wide stance, reach it up. Big breath in. Little squats. We're here jumping or taking your air squats or taking your heel slams. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach up. Big breath in. Intentional forward fold. Let it go. Halfway stretch, huge inhale. Knees to the back of the mat, sit onto the heels as you exhale. Cactus the arms, open your heart, breathe in. Downward facing dog on the breath out. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Bend the knees, stack the hips, stay or flip. Listen, we're gonna add something in that I forgot the first round, so we're slowing it down. Big inhale. Left hand down, left knee, left elbow. 1.5 mountain climbers back to three-legged, breathe in. And then step the left foot outside of the left pinky. Drop the back knee, lizard lunge. There it is, yeah? Relax onto the top of the back foot if that feels okay in the knee. And see if you can soften any areas that got a little gritty in that efforting, and then maybe that right forearm can come down. Maybe the left hand can find the inside of the left leg and just gently press that leg away from you. Try and keep your left knee and your left toes pointing in the same direction. It might feel okay to roll onto the knife edge of that left foot. Stay here, hugging right shoulder blade underneath you, or lifting the left arm up. Stay there, or bend your back knee. See if you can find the knife edge of the foot. And then breathe space across your chest, space into wherever you feel the most intense part of this stretch. Gently release the foot if you caught it. Bring the left hand down, the right hand down. Tuck the right toes under, lift the back knee. Pull your chest forward, and then bend the elbows to your degree. Look forward. We're in our Spider-Man push-up. Okay, three-legged dog. Breathe in. Step through. Here we go. Back into one breath, one motion. Inhale, reverse. Side angle variation on the exhale. Reverse triangle, breath in. Prayer twist, pivot the back heel up on the breath out. Stay here, long inhale, long spine. Strong exhale, deep twist. We go star on an in-breath. Left hand, back ankle on the exhale. Peel that right arm open, breathe in. To the top of the mat on the breath out, you've got a high crescent, land in it, finish the in-breath. And then an airplane, launch forward just for the exhale. Single-legged mountain, lift the right knee, lift the arms. Figure four, deep hinge through your hips. Back to that single-legged mountain, breathe in. Step the right foot down, shift the weight. Inhale, left leg floats up, keep breathing. Pulses up high or little toe taps down low. Lengthen the low back for 2, 1. Wide stance, we're adding on, big breath in. And then air squat with a jump or not for 4, 3, I'm done jumping, 2, and 1. Take it low, 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 low. See if you can keep sinking it lower and lower and lower until your bottom touches the mat. Once your hips land, rock and roll back, catching the backs of the legs, stretching through your hamstrings here. And then rock forward, hug the heels in close to your butt. So we've seen this before. We're gonna rock a few times like this. Keep going with this movement, or if you want to jump more or play with standing up, transitioning hands free, rock back, and then step the feet down, stand up tall, maybe lift the heels. Lower the butt, rock back, rock forward, step down, maybe you jump. Keep going with your rolls on your back or that optional kind of reverse burpee movement for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Rock it back, roll it forward, cross your ankles. Palms face up onto your thighs. Close the eyes or rest your gaze to one spot, right down the bridge of your nose. And then notice the sensations in your body. Notice the speed of the breath or the heart, or maybe the little vibrations of energy. I always like the analogy of a snow globe that got really just like a little kid took it and shook 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 it. And then they set it down. We just get to watch and feel. Feel the settling. Once the breath feels a little bit more regulated, add your pause at the top of the inhale. Before a slow exhale, completely emptying, maybe drawing the abdominals in gently to press all the air out, pausing at the bottom. Before again you take a big inhale for 4, 3, 2, fill all the way up, 1, hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1, slow exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold on empty, 4, 3, 2, 1, again inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause, hold the breath, 3, 2, 1, exhale, slow, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, same thing, no counting, breathe in. Hold the breath. Breathe out. And pause. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Pause. 2 more rounds, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Pause. Inhale, 4, 3, fill all the way up, 2, 1, hold the breath, 4, 3, relax your face, 2, 1, slow exhale, 4, 3, shoulders down, 2, belly button gently in, 1, pause, 4, 3, 2, 1, let go of the breath, just breathing naturally, noticing how you feel. Having so much compassion for whatever experience you have, whatever's coming up. It's easy sometimes when the experience is not so challenging. But can you apply that same gentle, non-judgmental frame of mind, especially when things feel a little edgier or a little more challenging? You can stay here for as long as you like. We're going to move on just a little bit more. Bring the hands behind you. See if you can take a nice big kind of Y stretch and then switch the cross of which ankle was forward. And once you find that, we're going to reach the arms up, keep the chin gently down, create length from tail to crown. And then bring your left hand down, reaching your right arm all the way up and over. You might even lower onto that left elbow, but keep that right sit bone pressing down gently. Or maybe a little bit more than gently, yeah? Breathe into the right side body from the outside of the hip, the side of the waist, up the side ribs. Maybe you let your left ear dangle for a moment, so you're feeling the stretch all the way into the right side of your neck. And then come back to the center, easy does it. Bring the left hand down. Or right hand down, excuse me. Reach your left arm up and then take your side bend. Maybe the elbow comes down, but don't force it, right? That's one of our themes too. Where in life are we forcing things, where we're rushing things? There's so much that we miss if we're speeding through life. Right? The little tiny sweet moments of awe, the sound of a little kid's laughter, a little lick from our pet maybe, a little lick on the nose or something. A moment where a loved one just looks at us and we can tell like that we're connected. Maybe the smell of a rose. Rise it back up, both arms reach up, long in breath. Cactus the arms, 90-degree bend in the elbows. Keep breathing here as we bring, let's start with right fingers come down in front of you, but the whole arm is now parallel to the ground. And the left arm is parallel to the wall. And then switch, trying to isolate the movement of your shoulder blade. And this can be a tough one if we don't do it. It's tough for me as well. So in fact, that bottom arm, you might bring it past parallel, but don't bring it past parallel to the point where you rotate that shoulder blade up, right? So maybe it stays at parallel. See if you can sit up taller without lifting the chin. Shoulders stay on the back of the ribs, but they're rotating. For 3, and 3, 2, and 2, 1, and 1. Relax the arms into your lap. Just notice how the arms, the hands, the shoulders, all of it feels. We're going to set up in half pigeon, a very short half pigeon stretch. If you know half pigeon is not for you, go ahead and find a figure 4 on your back. If you are taking a half pigeon here with me, take a peek back and see if you can bring, doesn't matter which leg you started with, we'll do both. See if you can bring that back ankle in line with the back hip. And it's okay if that leg isn't all the way on the mat, right? So maybe it feels better to kind of hug that back inner thigh up and in to keep the chest lifted. Maybe it feels okay to relax the leg down and to soften down into a folded version. Maybe you make a pillow for your head by stacking your fists or stacking your hands. And then take 3 long breaths, really patient, kind of like those 4-count breath with a pause. The pause can be a little shorter. Really filling all the way up on the inhales. Holding for just a moment before you release the breath, completely letting go, relaxing the muscles around the shoulders or the lower jaw. Take one more breath here on your own. And then go ahead and lie down onto your belly as a transition. You can wiggle the hips slowly, gently. And release to the lower back if there's anything sticky there. And then when you're ready, find your pigeon on the other side, or if you are on your back, your figure 4. Went right back into the same side. Interesting. And then take the same really intentional setup. Take the time. Once you do find the version of this stretch that feels right for your body in this moment, breathe in a way that helps you feel a little bit more connected. 3 of those long inhales, inviting that little pause at the top so that you can completely fill your lungs. Before you take those calm exhales, relaxing any muscular tension that you're aware of. 2 more, scanning your body with your long inhales, breathing into any pockets that need a little TLC. And then the slow exhale. And take 1 more round on your own and work your way onto your back. When you do land on your back, the knees can be bent, the feet come down. Bring your arms back into that goalpost position. And then toggle the knees to the right as you bring your left fingertips downward. Toggle your knees to the left as you bring your right fingertips downward. Slow side to side. So I call this windshield wiper knees with scarecrow arms. Still breathing in and breathing out. And eventually, from this movement, you'll find Shavasana, taking your time. And wherever you are, whether you're still moving or you're in Shavasana, allow yourself to relax into it as much as you can. And sometimes relaxation does not come easy. Most of us are better at stressing, partly because we've had to practice that more. And this is a huge opportunity that has these amazing ripple effects of healing as we invite ourselves to practice the act of relaxation, the act of letting go. Just maybe it's a gentle, open invitation to let the muscles melt out underneath you, to let the jaw and the facial muscles soften, and to just pause, practicing, Practicing letting yourself be exactly as you are. Listen for my voice in just a moment to close our practice. If you can linger a little longer, by all means, you can log off if you're live or shut off the video if you're watching the replay. And if you're ready or you need to move on with your day, take your time to find a seat. You can curl into the fetal position first if you like. And as you maneuver back up to a seated position, there's this moment where we really allow the practice to fill our hearts, our bodies, our souls, and to be a little more open to trusting the rhythm of life, to noticing when we're resisting life's invitation to slow down. Maybe a loved one is just like making a comment or gently trying to point something out in those moments that maybe you're a little busy and you would tend to dismiss them, right? Can you pause? Can you give them your attention? Likewise, those moments when we actually do need to speed up just a little bit. And just maybe it's a gentle inquiry about what it would take to trust that it's okay to move forward towards certain goals or ambitions. Cleansing breath, just breathing it into your whole heart, into your whole being, flowing all the way up. And then with trust, letting it completely go. Thank you deeply for sharing your practice. Keep taking great care of yourself. I hope to see you soon.